All right, we're going to try that again. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you will be able to hear me. Sorry about the audio issues. The good thing is I haven't opened anything up yet. I still have it in the package, so welcome, and I'm sorry about that. It's been an interesting couple of days. So here we go. I actually have not taken them out of the wrapping yet. So sorry about the audio problems. Let me know if you can actually hear me. Gotta love YouTube sometimes. And speaking of which, the video that I just had to take down, YouTube had already flagged it as inappropriate. So a video with no sound that lasted about a minute, YouTube flagged as inappropriate. Gotta love YouTube. So they have automatic algorithms that if they don't like your channel for some reason, because God forbid you speak something that goes against their own agendas, they will automatically flag your videos. So I look forward to that when I make this new video. So I'm opening these up. I don't know the grades. And what I was saying, even though no one heard me, is that, especially if you've never seen this before, I have a special deal that I have with PGX. And no, I don't get paid from them at all. But if you see there's like a little 8-second video in the beginning of my channel, it's a way that I get to send these in for a discount, and I give them the free advertising, and you guys can get actually some specials. Now, if you look at the code in the description of this video or in any video, if you send in the PGX 10 comics or more, you can get a free pressing with the code. It's We Love Comics Free Press. And also, because of my communicating with one of the owners of PGX, I was able to convince them to do Grader's Notes as an option. It's a $5 charge if you want it, and I have them on here, so not only will I show the grades, tell what my predictions are, and reveal what the grades are, if you want, for a $5 charge, you can have Grader's Notes added to the back of your slab. No one else has done it, and I really hope people will share it. So far, no one shared it. Because if you share it, then eventually CBCS and CGC might actually do the same thing. So even if you don't like PGX, this might actually help the other companies get on board. So if you want to use the Grader's Notes on your gradings, you can use the code. It's We Love Comics Grader's Notes. And again, it's a $5 fee. All right, so I have 4 books here. I will, of course, I always mention the price, and people appreciate that. I will tell you what my predictions were. We will go over the grade, and then we will find out what the grade is together. I don't know just as well as you don't. So let's start with the first one. All right, so we have Giant Size X-Men issue number 1. This is like my 3rd or 4th copy of this book. This is a book I've been telling people all the time, get it, as many as you can afford, even in lower grade, because this book, especially with the fact that Disney and Marvel have basically 99.9% of it completed, having the rights brought back to Disney, it's just a matter of time before the X-Men end up in a movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and these books are going to skyrocket. You haven't seen the peak of these comics now. So this one, I paid a total of, let me move this over, I paid a total of $361, which I always include shipping and handling because that is a factor in the cost. I predicted this to be about a 5 or a 5.0 with off-white to white pages. Now, I always get, and I definitely recommend, you always get your comics dry cleaned. So people are saying, I wish it was a 9.8. Let me tell you something. You want to see a grown man cry? Let me have a 9.8 on this, and you will see some happy tears. But I can tell you that's basically not going to happen. But this is a really nice-looking book. I'll show the back. I don't want to reveal the grade yet. It looks pretty much white. So this was a great deal for the price I got, because a 0.5 nowadays of this book goes for about $300. So this is definitely better than that. I always recommend getting a pressing and a dry cleaning on your books. And the good thing is, if it doesn't need a pressing, I mean, I can't answer for the other companies because I haven't used them as far as pressings are concerned. But PGX, if you tell them to check it first, if it doesn't need a pressing, they're not going to charge you and they're not going to do it. They're only going to charge you if you do actually need the pressing. So you have nothing to lose by having them check. So I predicted this is going to be a 5.0 to a 5.5. Realistically, I really think it's going to be higher than that. But let's find out. We got some people guessing, and Manny the Comic Collector says a 4.8. Well, I can tell you safely that it's definitely not going to be that, because there is no such thing as a 4.8. But I'll take a 5.0 out of that. But let's find out. All right, so I was actually pretty close. And the pressings, as always, I tell people. So we got a 6.0. Definitely not a problem at all. Very happy with that. Off-white to white pages. So I was right about that. Now, I'm going to do something that I haven't done before that I'm adding to this. I go to the CBCS website, where they are arguably, and most people will agree, CBCS is the most strict in grading. They have on their website the different grades and what it qualifies. So let me read what they have as a fine to very fine, from 7.0 to 5.5. Let's see if it hits the categories. So it says, under their definition of this, from 5.5 to 7.0, says, this comic is definitely a red comic with handling wear, but can still be a very desirable copy. Now, you could see it definitely does not have a lot of wear. So it'll definitely be in the higher part between a 5.5 and a 7.0. Says, this could have one major defect, like a larger piece out of the cover, a long tear, or a detached centerfold. Now, as you could see with the front or back, it doesn't have any of that. So that, again, would suggest it's going to be a higher part of this group. This could have light reading or subscription creases, or a rolled spine, but it's not damaged enough to reduce eye appeal. Now, you can see there is no rolled spine. So there's none of that. They also say some discoloration, fading in colors, and soiling is allowed. And again, even though this is a white book, you don't see even on the back any soiling. So it doesn't qualify. It doesn't have that either. With the absence of many other defects, the cover can be detached from one staple, but cannot be completely detached from the interior. Let me make sure. There are, nope, the staples are intact. So it says, books with slightly brittle pages cannot grade higher than a 6.5 and generally are even lower in grade. This has off-white to white pages. It says pages inside covers could be brownish but not brittle. Again, off-white to white pages. And it says it can also allow very small amounts of tape, which this does not have. So under the CBCS definitions, this absolutely will qualify under the 6.0 grade. So they are spot on as far as the grade is concerned. Now let's go over, as you can see here, I add the graders notes, and PGX is the only one that does it. So let's go over what they said they found. And I love that they do this. I'm so glad they listen to me. And that's what I love about this company. They may not be the best. Not everybody may love them. But you know what? They listen. So they wrote minor cover and edge wear, which you saw. A 2-inch crease front cover. 1-inch spine tear. So there was a little bit of a spine tear. And a 1/4 inch spine tear on the front cover. And that would be right there. And they wrote creases on the back cover. So actually, when you hold it to the light, there's a minor little bit of creasing. Probably going to be hard to see here. But there's a minor little bit of creasing right there. So that's pretty spot on. So a 6.0 at $361. Let's go to gocollect.com. And let's type in Giant Size X-Men. Now, obviously, a 6.0 CGC is going to sell a lot higher than a PGX. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that's not going to happen. But let's just say what Go Collect, as of now, what a 6.0 is going for. And that's $850. So this is one of those key issues. So even though this will most likely, if I sold it, sell less than a CGC, if a CGC is selling for $850, this would probably sell for $775 to $800. Considering I paid $361, I will say that I did rather well on that one. So the first one, starting out strong, very happy about a 6.0. And you guys were pretty close with your grades. All right, so let's see what's next. And this is what I'm going to do from now on. Let me know if you appreciate and like this, that I'm actually going to read off of the CBCS website on their grading notes specifically. and also tell you what the going rate is. All right, so the next comic. All right. Now, this is obviously last month's let me just fix this for a second. Give me a second. This is last month's 4 comics. So the next batch will have Hulk 181, but this is Hulk 180, which is Wolverine's first true appearance. But it isn't a cameo because it's in the last panel of this book. Now, this one I got as a steal. I paid $133.99 for this book. I am saying it's about a 6.5 to a 7.5 with off-white to white pages. The person that sold this book, and I'll show you the back. I'm trying to do it so I don't see the grade. You can see how white the back is. This person listed this as a good. And when I saw it, I said there is no way that this is only a good. But even at a good price, a good grade, 133 is still a steal. So I predicted 6.5 to 7.5, and of course that's before a pressing and dry cleaning and off-white pages. So people are making their predictions. They're basically saying between a 6 and an 8. I would love an 8 on this, but we'll see what the pressing did. So here we go. Here we go. So I said between a 6.5 and a 7.5, and look what it is, a 7.5. So do you notice that when I do the gradings, I am usually pretty spot on. Of all these videos, and I think I've done about 8 or 9 of these at this point, out of every single comic that I've shown, only one of theirs was off to the point where I took it out of the casing. So that is a great job. And let's see, they said off-white to white pages, so I was right about that. So let's see what CBCS's grading is for... Okay, so this goes from their site, says between 7.5 to a 9.0. So they write as, and this again is CBCS, they write, a very fine comic book, appears to have been read a few times and has been handled with care. As you could see with this book, it has definitely been handled with care. I mean, you could even see on the back, there is no creasing. So whoever owned this book definitely was handling it with care. So that qualifies. These grades allow for some defects than higher grades. Overall, an above-average copy and still very collectible. So as you could see, and again, I'll show the back, this is absolutely above an above-average copy. So they say some of the above defects, along with a fold or crease in the cover that breaks color. Now you could see there is none of that. Some stress marks on the spine. There's maybe 1 or 2. The cover has some light surface wear, but still has much of its original gloss, and there is nothing major wrong with it. Again, as you could see, that qualifies. And then sun shadows, dust shadows, and tanning can be darker and have more visual impact in higher grades. So even in the back, again, with all the white, usually you see a lot of dirt. So there is none of that. So this is the first cameo appearance of Wolverine. 7.5 off-white to white. So let's see what the going rate is for a Hulk 180 at a 7.5. And again, I paid $133.90. So you could look this up. You can go to gocollect.com and you can see for yourself. So a 7.5 is $450. So again, because this is a key issue, a PGX would probably sell, if a 7.5 is $450 with CGC, the PGX would probably sell for around $395 to $400. Still a great deal when I paid $133.99. So again, you know, a lot of people want to make complaints about PGX and say they don't know how to grade and all this other stuff. This is why I do this live. And I'm actually reading from CBCS, and they're the most strictest when it comes to gradings. I seriously doubt anybody's going to argue with these grades. You know, but like I said, people like to regurgitate everything they hear, and I base things on actual experience, not what other people say. So far they're 2 for 2. All right, so what's next? All right, this one, this could come back a 0.5, and I will make out like a bandit on this book. This is Fantastic Four issue number 6. This is the second Silver Age appearance of the Submariner. This is the second appearance ever of Doctor Doom, and the first Marvel villain team-up ever. So there's a lot of significance in this book. Now, this was sold to me by a person who basically didn't own comics. Maybe they found it in the attic or somebody gave it to them, but they clearly did not know what they were selling. They had this listed at $300 with a best offer. I offered them $80 for this book, and they said fine. Now, the way I could probably tell that they weren't really comic book collectors is I bought a couple of books from them, and they were sent to me in an envelope, no bag and board, just the comic itself. How they ended up not getting destroyed is beyond me, but I'm very happy they didn't. So I paid a grand total of $80 for this book. I'm saying before pressing, it's about a 2.5 to a 3.5. Oh, and I forgot to read the greatest notes on the other one, so I'll do this one and I'll go back to that and read the greatest notes, so I apologize. So I paid $80. I said it's going to be up 2.5 to a 3.5 with creamed off-white pages. And for some reason, Comic Lovers 2.0 was blocked by YouTube. Don't ask me why. All right, so let's reveal what the grade is. There we go. So again, the pressing helped. So I said 2.5 to a 3.5, and what is it? It's a 3.5. So it's not like I'm saying it's a 2.5 to a 3.5 and they graded it an 8.0. So there, every time now you see it's been pretty spot on to what I predicted. So let's go back to the CBCS website and let's go over what a 3.5 would be according to their website. And again, you can check this. Go to cbcscomics.com/grades and you can see this for yourself. So they categorize this section as a 5.0 to a 3.5. So this is the lowest of that group. So they say the books are complete, but can have major creases and a spine roll. Now, as you can see, it doesn't have a spine roll. It is kind of crunchy, because that's the one thing, if you saw the video, because I always make a video before I send these out, this book was wrinkled to death. So the dry cleaning absolutely helped it. I mean, the pressing, but you can see there's not a lot of creasing. Okay, the inside paper quality can be low, and small pieces of the pages may be missing. Now, as you can see, and I'll show the whole cover, front and back, there are no pieces missing. Now, there is, from here, a tear that goes all the way down. Okay, books with brittle pages cannot grade higher than a 3.5 and generally even lower in grade. So they did off-white to white pages. I actually said cream to off-white. So I was off a little bit, but off-white to white, so it's definitely not brittle pages. So books in this grade are almost always creased, scuffed, abrased, soiled, but readable. Again, look how nice that cover is. If it wasn't for this tear, I think this would have been a 4.0. Now, you'll see there's some stains on the bottom here, but that's not completely taking away from the entire book. And then a larger amount of tape is also allowed in this grade, and this has no tape at all. So this absolutely will qualify spot on, according to CBCS, as a 3.5 easily. So again, they are spot on with this. So I'm going to read the greatest notes, and I'm going to go back to the Hulk and read the greatest notes because I forgot. So here are the greatest notes on there. You probably won't be able to read it. Covers look detached from top staple. They are not detached. They're kind of dented in a little bit, but they're not detached because I always check my books. All right, so what they said of this book. Multiple stress lines along the spine. Moderate cover, edge, and spine wear. Moderate water damage. There was a little bit right along the edge. There's a little bit of a stain, but again, it doesn't cover the whole paper. And on the back, there's a little bit of a stain there that only covers the back part, not the whole book. Let's see. 4-inch edge tear front cover. That's the tear here that I was talking about. It goes basically from around his kneecap all the way down, but it's not a complete tear. And last but not least, the 1/4-inch spine split and 1/2 staple times 2. Oh, 2.5-inch staple times 2. I'm not sure what that means. That could basically mean that it's kind of indented in like that. But this absolutely qualifies for a 3.5. Now let's see, according to GoCollect.com, let's go to Fantastic Four. And we're going to go to issue number 6. And let's see what a 3.5 is currently going for. And again, that's according to CBCS and CGC. So the PGX will go a little lower, but that's okay. I spent $80 on this book. According to GoCollect.com, a 3.5 is $375, which means this book in a PGX would probably sell for about $300. It's going to go much higher than that when the Fantastic Four enter the Marvel Universe. So again, I think I did pretty well considering what I paid for it. So it's not always what you sell something for, it's what you pay for it. So let me just go back to this one again before I do the last one. And don't forget to wait until the end. I always do the surprise subscriber shout out. So let me read the graders notes on this one, because there's actually not a lot of them. It says multiple stress lines along the spine. All right, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom, 5. But again, they're all less than 1/4 of an inch at best. Edge wear, slight foxing, which is allowed. 3/4 inch crease front cover. So let's see if we could find that crease. Aha. So right there, there's a tiny, right at the edge where it hits the yellow to the blue, there's a tiny, tiny little crease that breaks color. So that definitely does not take away from the book at all. 7.5, accurate grade. All right, so we got the last one, and this is actually the best one. So I'm very happy with that, and thank you very much. If you guys like this, please give it a thumbs up. Show the support. I always appreciate this. And remember, if you are subscribed to my channel and you send any of your books in to get graded by PGX, if you send 10 of them in, you can get one of them pressed for free. And if you want to add the graders notes, you have to add the We Love Comics graders notes, and it's $5 each. You got to mention that on the slip. So here is the last one. And I cannot wait to see what this is. I love this. This is Batman issue number 121, which is the first appearance of Mr. Freeze. And I paid $409.78. And this book, let me tell you something, a 0.5 is about $300 or so. So you could see right here, there's a big piece missing out. But other than that, the rest of the book is complete. And I'll show the back without showing the grade. As you can see, it's all complete. It's definitely not a 6.5, especially with that part of the cover missing. I predicted it to be about a 1.5 to a 2.0, cream to off-white pages. This is a book, if you can get your hands on it, try and get it, because this is a great comic to own. And for some reason, Comic Lover, they keep putting yours as spam. I don't know why, but YouTube is weird that way. Like I said, the original video of this, they already flagged as inappropriate. I love YouTube sometimes, I said sarcastically. All right, so let's see what the grade is. And this definitely will improve with the pressing, because this is another one of those books that has had a lot of crinkling. So the pressing is going to smooth all of that out. So what did I get for this? I'm hoping for at least a 2.0. All right, I still cannot complain. So I predicted a 1.5 to a 2.0, and they give it a 1.8. So again, this is pretty much spot on. Now you can see there's some color creasing lines here and here. That missing part, there's definitely some wrinkling at the bottom here. So this is definitely, I knew it was a lower grade. It has multiple spine breaks that break color. So this is spot on. Let's see the color. They said off-white to white. I'm very happy about that. I was saying cream to off-white. So this is the first appearance. It says first appearance of Mr. Zero, who later becomes Mr. Freeze. So as you can see here, he was originally called Mr. Zero. So let's go to CBCS, their website, and let's go over what would qualify for what they call from good minus to very good, which is a 3.0 to a 1.8. So this is at the bottom of this category. So he says good is really a misnomer, but one is still readable with numerous defects. So it definitely has numerous defects, but it is, as you can see, and I've opened the book, it is definitely still readable. Okay, so all the defects of a very good comic with more significant wear. The inside paper quality might not be as good, and pieces of the pages may be missing. So the only part that's missing is this part right here. None of the other pages inside are missing. Books in this grade are almost always creased, scuffed, abrased, soiled, but readable. So as you can see, there is some scuffing. There is some problems in the back. There's some soiling, but it does not distract from the whole comic. So that definitely qualifies. Large pieces can be missing from the cover. So I don't know if you'd consider that a large piece, but it's definitely not half the book or anything. So I would categorize that, I guess, as a large piece is missing. So it says large pieces can be missing from the cover. Long or many spine splits are possible. So as you can see, like I said, there are many spine creases along the edge. The cover and pages may be detached but not missing and still in collectible grade. So the cover is not detached. The staples are attached. Let's see. A significant amount of tape we don't have, and book may be fragile. As you can see, it is definitely not fragile. So this will absolutely qualify under that category range. Let's see what the Batman as a 1.8. Batman 121. Let's see what the Batman 121 at a 1.8 is. So I paid $409.78. Give it a second. We're going to scroll down. So a 1.8 is $600, which means about $530 to $550 if I was to sell this. As of now, that is what I would probably get for this book. Probably higher than that because this is a very high demand book. So again, it's worth more than what I paid for it. And that's the key. And because this is an older book, this definitely is just going to continue to keep going up. So they are 4 for 4 with the grades. Oh, let me read the grader's notes. Because as you can see, like I said, PGX is the only one for a $5 fee. You can add the grader's notes. So the grader's note says significant water stains, which you can see. There's some stains here. There's the stains I showed you up top. But again, it's not covering the entire book. It did make the bottom wrinkle a little bit. But again, it's not ripped to shreds. It doesn't look sad. See White, a 1.8 definitely does not sound a little high for this book, especially when I read the grades. I mean, if you want to believe that's high, that's up to you. Let's continue. All right, so severe water stains, 2-inch by 2-inch corner chip front cover. That's this. Moderate cover edge spine wear. Top staple popped, which is allowed in this because it even said for this grade it can be completely detached. It's only the top staple that's detached. And minor chips on the back cover. That's what I showed you on the bottom. And multiple stress lines along the spine, which I've shown you. So this absolutely will qualify under this grade. I think a 1.8 is spot on. Oh, see, he's talking about the value of the comic. Trust me, look on eBay for Batman 121 and see what the prices are. Even for, I've seen coverless books of this sell for $200 and up. So trust me, this is from 1959. This is an older book. You can see it has the 10-cent price tag on it. This is an older book, so this is early Silver Age. This is absolutely a desirable book. And the Go Collect prices are usually lower than what you will see on eBay. So, trust me when I say, look it up on eBay. You will see that these are very desirable books. So I'm very happy with these. So let me show all 4 books again. We have Batman 121, first appearance of Mr. Freeze at a 1.8. Yeah, see White checked. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. This book is a very desirable book. Like the first appearance of Bizarro, first appearance of Supergirl, those early Superman and Batman Silver Age books, they go incredibly high prices. I mean, look at the first Silver Age appearance of Barry White. I mean, that's showcase number 4. That book in a 0.5 sells for $5,000. So these early DC books, they're hard to acquire. So a 1.8 paying $400 is actually a pretty darn good price, considering I could, if I wanted to sell this right now, I could sell it for easily for $500. C. White says I could have bought these months ago for lower. I'm telling you, people, wait sometimes too long. It's a price to pay sometimes. All right, so let's go over these. So I showed the Batman 1.8. I paid $409.78. I predicted a 1.5 to a 2.0 cream to off-white pages. It came back a 1.8 with off-white to white pages. Next up, we have Hulk 180. I predicted, well, I paid $133.99. I predicted a 6.5 to 7.5 off-white to white. It came back a 7.5 off-white to white, so I was pretty spot on that one. Next up, we have Fantastic Four number 6, which is the second Silver Age appearance of Submariner, second appearance of Doctor Doom, first Marvel villain team-up. I predicted this would be a 2.5 to a 3.5. I paid $80 for this book, creamed off-white. It actually came back a 3.5 off-white to white. And last but not least, I absolutely love this one. This is my giant size X-Men number 1. I paid $361 for this. I predicted a 5.0 to a 5.5. This one did the best when it came to the dry cleaning and the pressing. I predicted off-white to white pages. This came back a 6.0, so I was only off by half a grade on my max off-white to white pages. So, you know, like I said, people can say what they want about PGX. I even went on the CBCS website, and you can check that out yourself. I read what would qualify under those grades. They absolutely fit that. So PGX, yet again, 4 for 4, and only one of their grades out of all of them that I've done so far, I can say was honestly just they made a mistake. And those can happen. So let me do the surprise subscriber shout-out. And yeah, Red Mato says $80 for 55. Nice. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to find the deals. Sometimes you got to make the deals. So today's surprise subscriber shout out. You know what? You did a lot of them today, so I'm going to give it to you. C. White, even though you're a Chicago Cub fan, I'm going to give you today's surprise subscriber shout out. If you want to use PGX to get graded, first of all, they're going to be the cheapest to get graded. Second of all, they're going to have the fastest turnaround. Third of all, they have by far the best customer service. Excuse me. Out of all 3, and I've used all 3. I love CG. Excuse me. Sheesh. I love CGC, CBCS. I mean, with their 6 or 7 months of turnaround time is ridiculous at this point. So I am not a hater of the others. I just have no problem with PGX. Like some people just want to hate it with a passion. No one else does the graders notes. And the next batch, they said they're getting back on track because of all the Comic-Cons they had over the summer. They have actually had a lot more orders. And they also said because of my channel, they've gotten more orders, especially with adding the graders notes. So that put them a little bit of a delay. They said they're getting back on track now. So actually, this month's should be coming a little bit earlier, which I'm very happy about. And to tell you a little bit about next month's that I've already sent out, I won't tell you what I predicted or anything. I'll just tell you the 4 books. The first book was Flash 106, which is the first Gorilla Grodd and first Pied Piper. Aquaman number 1. Amazing Spider-Man number 14, first Green Goblin. And Hulk 181. first full Wolverine, which is my 3rd copy. So that is it. I hopefully... C. White says, thanks, the Cubs choked. And yeah, the Red Matto says it too. The Yankees did too. I'm a Yankee lover. I'm a huge Yankee fan. But considering the fact that my DJ job always gets interrupted by their playoffs, and I lose a lot of work when the Yankees are in the playoffs, especially since 1996, it's kind of a double-edged sword on that one. But, you know, it is what it is. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I love doing these. If you've never had your books graded, get them graded. Use whatever company you want. I'm never going to say only buy from PGX. You use whatever is going to work for you. I have a video that reviews all 3 companies. Each one has its strengths. Each one has a weakness. So you got to go with what works best with you. And to be perfectly honest, never listen to reviews where they're totally going to bash somebody and totally praise another. Because there's always good and bad. And I want to say thank you. Anybody that does these super chats, I want to make sure I read them because I appreciate that. And I don't wait until the end or ignore everybody else's. Robert Galvin says, and thank you for the $5. He says, just for you, buddy. Awesome. I love the X-Men. I'll tell you, I love them too. This, trust me, get this book. Get any Fantastic Fours and get any X-Men that you can. Because mark my words, you think these are expensive now. Wait until the first time an X-Men or a Fantastic Four character is in a Marvel movie. People are going to go ape, you know what, and these prices are going to double. So mark my words on that. I know how people go. They base it on emotion. Most people wait until the last minute, and that's when the prices go higher and higher. So like that C. White said about that Batman book, he missed an opportunity. Don't miss opportunities. Don't buy them when everybody's talking about them. Buy them before that. Save that extra money to buy another book or pay a bill. Why throw away extra money because you waited too long because you wanted to wait until everybody else was doing it? That's what followers do. Don't be a follower, be a leader. That means you should listen to everybody, but don't believe anybody. You gather information from everybody and then make your own conclusions based on your own research. Because otherwise, then you're just going to hear things that make you feel good or sounds good. You better hope they're right. So I try and be as unbiased as I can. Yes, I have a deal with PGX. No, I don't get paid. If they do something bad, I call them out on it. And I'm not afraid to praise companies like, for example, CGC. As far as their grades, I think they undergrade the older books. They're a little too strict. But as far as the newer stuff, they're pretty good at it. They sell the best, and they have the best cases. So I'm not going to sit here and bash anybody. But there's good and bad for everybody. And if you listen to people that just will do nothing but negative, negative, hate, hate, bad, bad, and can't think of anything good, then they're just being biased, and you're not really getting good information. Even if it sounds good to you and makes you feel good. You should not base things based on emotion. You should base it on facts. So with that being said, I got to go feed my cats. I got to get ready for work. I'm DJing tonight, covering for a friend. And please leave a thumbs up, show the support. I cannot wait to show you guys the next bunch that's coming at the end of this month. I do this every month. If you subscribe to my channel and you send in 10 books, you can get one of them for free, one pressing for free, and the greatest notes. Because trust me, people have been asking that. Even my haters will not say anything bad about the fact that they're writing these greater notes. No other company's doing it, and I'm glad that I made the effort to have them do it. So it shows that if you put in the effort, you'd be amazed at what can be done. So thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you had a great time. It's always my pleasure doing these kind of videos. Thank you to everybody that took the time to watch. Austin and Vicky Moore, Red Matos, Comic Glover, Robert Galvin, Florence is here. Welcome. Let me just give a couple of shout-outs. Craig Wagner, Doggy Lover, always glad to see you here again. Steven, always good to see you. Kay Bruna. Let's see. Corey Maxwell, always love that you're here. Crypto Club, glad you stopped in. Manny the Comic Collector, and he says hello to my cat. Which one? Harvey Abel, always glad to see you, even though you can't hear me. Joe Richardson. So everybody's getting a shout out today. Stu Jam Walton. Rob Montana. Let's see if I missed anybody. Craig Wagner. Bake the Snake. I love that name. especially if you're into wrestling. Jake Conrad, Sith Lord, good to see you. Tony Sanders, Bobby, Youngster Kang, like that one. S. Bishop, Duck TY. I think that's everybody, but I want to make sure. Tony Sanders, I'm not sure if I said. Manny Oliveira, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before. Luke Kills Plebs, I'm not sure what that means, but welcome. Jason Hall, Love Travel 99, Chewy 13. And that's everybody. So there we go. Shout outs to everybody because I appreciate you all. Joe, you're welcome for the shout out. Man, the comic lover appreciated the shout out, love. And that's what I want to do. And Doggy Lover says, love your channel. And I told you I wouldn't miss it. And I'm glad you don't. It means a lot that you guys keep coming back because trust me, I have to deal with some negativity no matter what I do. I mean, the other day I did a video that was helping a subscriber about their dog, you know, trying to help save the life of a dog. And I got 7 thumbs down. So, you know, it's nice to have the love from you guys because no matter what I do, some people are just going to stalk and hate. That's just what YouTube is. People hide anonymously. But you guys are what make this worthwhile, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you very much. I hope you appreciated it. And don't forget, it's not you, it's not I, it's We Love Comics, and we definitely love them when they're graded. I will see you guys next video. That will be coming Sunday, so stay tuned. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Peace.